Cool. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. Pleasure to be on.
Okay. I'm Angel. I've been watching Vertical since 2023. I've seen over 2,500 of them.
Wow.
I'm an Army veteran, a single parent, and just I started my review page in April of this year, just because I was working as a security guard and I was bored. I was like, what else better to do with my life? And now I kind of just do it full time, like dove
Wow.
right in the whole vertical world.
That's amazing. Yeah, I dove in shortly after you. I did my first vertical in July of this year. And the second one that I've done, I ended up being the lead on, which was flying for you again. Um, so super new to the vertical space as well, in terms of like really being a part of the community. Before that, I was graduated from mechanical engineering at Long Beach in 2021. Uh, Went head on into acting and modeling in like spring of 2022
Mm.
and ended up meeting my wife in the industry. Has had an amazing time developing, working on my craft, and we started a production company. And so, being
Oh,
part of the acting and vertical space has been super fun, um, and being able to play dress up for a living has been a childhood dream. So, to be able to live that is fantastic.
you said you have a production company?
Yes, yeah, it's in its infancy. So my wife and I, we have a couple different movies that are in pre-production right now.
Mhm.
But after the strikes, a lot of things have stalled. And so instead of waiting for funding to come, we're making our own stuff right now. And got inspired by doing verticals actually, and saw the amazing community that's here. And so we're having three different trailers for vertical series that we're launching in December break. So we're
Ooh.
very excited for that. Yeah. There's fun action in parts. It's been fun talking with the community and kind of like hearing like the desires for it are so wholesome. Like it's really fun to see like romance done well. It feels like the heart cry of a lot of fans. I From the little that I've been able to kind of like reach out to, a lot of people in my intimate community, like they were just recently discovered that verticals exist because I've been doing them. And so I haven't talked to a lot of people up until recently about like the fans of the vertical community. And it's really cool to hear like book talk fans and vertical fans like how much they're really wanting to see like wholesome romance and like very fun, fantastic genres done well. Um, and yeah, I think there's been equal hunger in the community to see maybe less violence towards women being
Mhm.
one of the things. Um, but yeah, like what are other things that so you've been a part of the vertical community for a short while now, but you've been an avid fan of it for a hot second. Um, how have you kind of like seen the world of like verticals change, and what are things you're really looking forward to seeing more of?
Um, so things that I've seen change are like the biggest thing is the violence.
Mm,
Because when I first started out, it wasn't that bad unless it was like a fight scene or, an occasional slap because you threw your drink on her.
mm,
Typical, short dramas. But recently, like it's harder for me, because I was in a very abusive marriage and I had found verticals shortly after I had left him. And so
mm.
they were sweet and they were wholesome and I could go with, some slapping, some kidnapping scenes because my god, obviously it's fake.
Mhm.
Uh, but when more DV came into the picture, it was harder. Um,
Mm,
so that has I know some apps are like veering back towards the pure romance, which is great.
mm.
Times they'll have one of really bad. Um, but I think just the upscale in abuse has been a big change. Another big change has been like the effects,
Mm.
especially on like the werewolf and the vampires, and all the special effects have grown so much
Yeah,
since my first one in 2023, which was a werewolf one.
gotcha. And
Where
is
would
that
I?
growing into VFX been like a positive growth in your eyes?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like as soon as like something exciting hits the market, and specifically in story, when people really gravitate to a new way to really become immersed in story, a lot of other production companies are like, "Oh, we can do that too. Let's hop on the bandwagon." And it's crazy how little it takes to change an industry once people realize what's popular, or like what the fans are excited for in terms of
Mhm.
story. I think that's closer to it, because as soon as you kind of go to like following trends, you kind of are one step behind the curve, or at least that's what I've seen. And
Mhm.
then the people that are really excited about telling epic stories and realizing they have permission to do so in new ways that really excites people, I think there's more room to explore um, than we think there is, versus just kind of like keeping it to the some cookie cutter stories which we've seen before and are
Yeah.
great. And we love seeing them, but we're also wanting some variety to the pie.
And just with things that have changed, like more actors are getting involved, like Adam Santa Cruz and Felix Murback.
Mm,
Felix produced Dungeons of Ecstasy.
okay.
Um, wow, I just realized that both of these verticals have Eric in it. Whoops. Um, but Dungeons of Ecstasy, Felix did. They did it all in Italy. It's gorgeous. Like,
Wow.
it leaves me satisfied, but I also want more from it because there are a lot of unanswered questions.
Great. That's
Um,
like a perfect teaser. Like you got enough that you're like, oh, love that story. But wait, I want more. It's the perfect
mhm.
balance.
And then Adam Santa Cruz,
Mhm.
he produced, or no, he wrote and co-produced, I believe. I'm gonna get fact checked for this so hard. Anyways, him and Eric did Campus Rivals.
Okay.
And I know a lot of people liked Campus Rivals. One, because there were so many leads. Like Eric was in it, Jeff was in it, Adam was in it. You probably don't know any of these names. Jesse was in it.
No, but I trust that they're big names in the industry.
Nick was like, there were just a bunch of lead roles, just
Mm,
all in one.
okay.
And of course, not all of them were leads because I don't know how
How
that
can
would
you do
make any
that?
sense.
Yeah.
Um, but they all like made cameos or like an appearance, and a lot of people were excited for it, and it just put it on a different wavelength.
Mm, that's really cool. Yeah, it's fun when you see actors making their own stuff and doing a really good job, because it opens a lot more doors, a lot more opportunities, and
Mhm.
it's hard, I think, as an actor, if you're constantly waiting for someone else to give you permission to do what, like, make the art that you feel called to make, versus like people are like, well, I'll wait for the call when it comes, but I'm going to do stuff now and keep
Mhm.
sharp and have fun, like being a big kid. And so when certain things like arise, you're able to really like enjoy it well.
Now you're set. Oh, there we go. Okay, I was like,
Yeah,
now you're
there we
set.
go. Yeah, I'm just gonna put on do not disturb, because if I get a call again, I do not want that to happen. There we go. Boom. Okay. And we're back. Apologies for that.
No, you're completely fine. Um, so how did you get your first role in? I know it. I know the title. Hold on. Nope.
Last something of
Last Spark
something.
of Us. Last Spark
Yes,
of Us. Yes,
that was
because
really fun.
you were the brother.
Yes, I was able to play Julian in that opposite Erin, and she's a phenomenal actress and just like a really amazing human being. It was a great first entry into the world of verticals. I'm not sure. Well, obviously you've had interviews with a lot of different actors. I'm not sure how much they get into the nitty gritty behind scenes. Like verticals are shot at an incredibly quick pace. Like you
Mm.
have like sometimes like I think the lowest amount of pages I've done is 8, but like the average is around 15, or the average is around 12, and like a couple of like 15-page days. And for people who aren't actors, is like, oh, like is that a lot? Is that like where is that on the spectrum? I'm like, you get maybe 1 to 2 takes and you're going. Like you do not have a lot of room for error, and which kind of allows you to be a little bit more free and more confident, kind of just like flow. Um, but being alongside Aaron and Patrick in that one, and there's so many other phenomenal actors that were on set. Um, but them especially, and especially Aaron, got to learn a lot about the vertical world, and like the craft that Aaron has is just absolutely phenomenal. We go like nerded out about acting stuff backstage. It was great. So for that project, I got reached out to. from Instagram. There's a casting director, Sarah, who reached out to me first for, I think it was like one of the werewolf series, like my alpha werewolf husband or something along those lines. I think there's like a couple iterations of like the same like base genre title. Um, and I reached back out to her and was like, hey, just so you know, like really read through the script. I'm not available for any kissing or intimacy scenes unless they're with my wife. And so if that's needed to tell the story, like totally understand if you want to go in a different direction, but please keep me in mind for any supporting or like villain roles. Because I don't know why, but like villain roles are super fun to me. And like there's something about like showing evil for what evil truly is and doing a good job of it's like a really fun challenge. And she reached out to me shortly after and it said like, oh, there's this supporting role, like playing the protective older brother Julian. Like, would you be interested in auditioning for this? And reading through the script, like Julian is such a such an honest representation of like an older brother stereotype. Like he loves a little bit too much, maybe a little bit controlling in terms of like how he's uh, operating, but he loves her so much and is willing to do literally anything for her. And you see that in Last Spark of Us. And I like the honesty of his character is great. I think even like the redemption arc with feeling the betrayal from his best friend and in pursuing his sister when he expressly told him not to, and then still choosing to give them his blessing after he's proven his love for her. Like all the base in Julian, I really respected and admire. So that was a really fun role to play. And Jen, one of the directors on that production, asked me if I was available to shoot "Falling for You" again. And I was extremely honored and ecstatic that she thought of me for this next role. And that, like, the reason I was able to pick it up is because there wasn't any kissing or intimacy scenes in that project. And
Mm-hmm.
that's also a fun challenge for me. Like, okay, it's easy to show someone that you love them with a kiss, but how can you do it without doing it? And like, how
Mm-hmm.
can you actually show true love outside of just the basic physical tropes that we expect? And Casey on that set was so much fun to work with. Haley as well. Like every single one of the actors in Chaz, like they were fantastic to be on set with. The production crew, Wes as the director, was so much fun to like communicate with and like ask questions and follow up about like who like Bruce like truly was and all of that. Like I've had nothing but great experiences so far, and it's been really fun, even though it's been a crazy amount of like intensive work.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. What was the difference between playing a supporting and a lead? Because
That's a
you've
great
done one of
question.
each now.
Yes, I have. That's a great question. There's a lot that goes into them. Obviously, like the amount of lines that you have is like the obvious answer, but I would say the position that you are being a leader on set changes. So for supporting, I was a great introduction to the world of verticals because I got a smaller amount, got to see how everything was set up, and take all of the training that I've done, but really being able to apply it well into completely new style of production. I got to really nerd out, like be an observer of kind of like how the world worked, and then insert myself and serve that project as a supporting character well, and do my best in order to make Aaron and Patrick look fantastic because that's my job. It's to make their character story shine, and if I do that well, then my character looks better. And so, like being a servant on set really helps the rest of the production thrive. And as a lead, it's a kind of a similar process where like, okay, if I'm number one or two on the call sheet, it is my job to empower everyone else in their roles well, help create an environment and a culture where there's levity, there's fun. We get to really work hard as we're going out of this. Everyone is should be working equally as hard. Let's make it as easy as possible to do that. But I have a lot more opportunity to dialogue with the director to make sure that their vision is coming across well. Because if I'm number one or two on the call sheet, like I am the focal point of the story. And understanding that with that responsibility comes a lot of, with that privilege comes a lot of responsibility. And I want to make sure that the story that the director has been tasked with to tell well, I get to really be a strong pillar that everything else can rest on and be supported with. So that I view it from that perspective in terms of my job as an actor on screen, and then off screen being a like a beacon of positivity, of kindness, of care, and then also showing how hard I'm working to hold a standard that everyone else is excited to work as hard and come up with a product that we're all really proud of because we get to be giant kids. It shouldn't be anything, there shouldn't be any divas on set. We should all be having fun. And every single position, like the story cannot be told without everyone else involved. And extending that respect, I think, really makes for a product that we're all stoked about.
Okay. So, rewinding a little bit.
Okay.
Do you think that like your boundaries on a script makes it hard for you to get roles?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that definitely is a limiting factor. Like I'm aware of the genre that I'm in, right? Because like the vertical uh, model is there's a lot of kissing and intimacy scenes, right? And I think in I've been asked this question even before I was married to my wife, like because I had that same boundary even before we even started dating. Um,
Okay.
and so for like TV and film, like that 100% still exists. Like even like outside of like the vertical framework, like there's a lot of roles that I'm not going to get because my wife and I aren't going to get cast together. And I'm completely okay with that because not every role is meant for me. And like I'm not going to get every role. Like I'm only going to get the roles that like God has put in front of me that I can just step into and step into well. And I have complete peace with that because I'm not dependent on anyone else to make art. And I get to do that on my own and then show up with the craft that I've honed and be of service and also be really respect myself and come home extremely content with what I've shown up with. And
Mm-hmm.
like other actors that have no problem with kissing or intimacy scenes, like that's amazing. Like good for them that they don't have any qualms with that and it doesn't like affect them at all. Like for me, I realize I'm just a little bit too sensitive in that area, and that there's just so much that can happen. And you hear different examples of people on set where people are dating offset and then someone's a lead with another person, and I've heard a lot of stories of like Angelina, like Brad Pitt with Jennifer Aniston situation kind of happen, where people will leave their partner for their co-star and then start a relationship on that foundation. And that can sometimes happen more often than not. And with great, talented, phenomenal actors that have great boundaries, that doesn't happen. And thank God for that. But it's opening, not every actor is the same. Not every actor has the same boundaries. And sometimes they are just a little more, they keep a door a little bit further open.
Mm-hmm.
And I have found that having very clear boundaries has also made the other co-stars that I'm working with feel really safe because they know exactly where I stand and are protected by that.
Okay. It was new when you said it, and I was like, I've never heard that before.
Yeah, I get that a lot. Yeah, before when I was single, I had friends that were like they were married to each other in the industry, and one of them was okay with kissing, and the other one wasn't. And it was a point that they were still kind of like discussing together. And I saw that and I was like, okay, like I want to know like what I'm about like right now. And I thought about it and I was like, would I feel comfortable like seeing like my future wife kissing a random dude on screen? And I'm like, oh, I think that'd be hard for me. And just
Mm-hmm.
realizing that early on in like the early like 1940s movies where it's like a peck on the cheek and like even like a kiss on the lips where it's not super involved, like I can understand why people would be completely fine with that. Even for me, I'm just like, oh, okay, I think I would be affected by that. Well, okay, well, if I'm affected by that, I'm definitely not putting my future wife through that. And if
Mm-hmm.
I'm not putting her through that, then I'm also not going to sign up for a project that I'm on long term, that I've made a commitment to this company and this production to tell this story. And then I have to then back out of it and hinder uh, what they're doing because of someone coming into my life. Well, then, okay, I need to make space for that person to come in well. So there isn't any conflict. And so that's just a personal conviction that I have that like I don't expect and don't judge anyone else for not having. But I don't know, just certain people are comfortable like cussing on set, some aren't. For me, it's not an issue at all. It falls under a similar line for me.
Okay. Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah.
Is there like you've really only done two. So is
Yes,
there a genre that you would love to do, and then a genre that you absolutely will never do?
it's a great question. Yeah, I have one that I'm really excited about is my wife and I, we have a couple different projects in the works, and one of them is a Western treasure hunt romance that I'm
Ooh.
very, very excited about. Yeah, it's like Western Indiana Jones and in a way. And that one's a lot of fun playing Western characters. I don't know, there's something about that period of time that's like so grounded, like in nature and so romantic. And I've always been like obsessed with Western since I was a kid. So those are really fun. There's so many other genres that I'm like obsessed with, but like I think that one is the one I'm most excited about right now. And one that I will never do. Hmm. I would have said horror before. Like, again, I'm a big softie. So, like, sometimes certain things in horrors, I'm like, oh, I don't know about this, man. But, like, I think a fun slasher flick, I wouldn't have an issue with. But I think, like Japanese horror, for example, like, sometimes they get so psychologically dark that I'm like, oh, like I'm pretty good at protecting like my emotions when I play villains on set and different characters, and I have like ways that I make sure that my spirit's fine as I'm stepping into a dark role. But those ones, I'm not sure if I'd be okay coming out the other side of it.
I get that. I have seen a lot of the psychological thrillers. I think one of my favorite. It's called Remember,
Mm,
and it's in short, it's these like high high school kids
okay.
all end up like dying or something.
Mm.
Or no, they go to this house. If they find this bear, and the bear belongs to a little girl who had gotten killed, and then they wake up in the school, and in the school they have to go around and find like body parts of this little girl
Oh no.
before
No, I'm out.
before the little girl essentially, or her demon or whatever, finds them and kills them.
No.
But so if they, if they die, they wake up the next night in the school again.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a Groundhog Day thriller
Okay.
situation.
Yeah, it sounds like a horror version of. Have you ever seen Edge of Tomorrow with
Mm-hmm.
Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt? It reminds me of that.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Fascinating. Yeah. Whenever it comes to like little girls getting killed, I'm just like, now, like, does the dog die? Like, I need to know.
Need to know all the answers before I get into this.
Yeah, seriously.
What is your most memorable moment on one of the two sets that you've been on?
Mm, that's a great question. Man. Okay, so I think I'll start with the moment that was just on set or backstage shenanigans. So we're on one of the set locations for Last Spark of Love. Aaron has ordered a matcha. We're getting close to filming, and the person cannot find the entrance to like the set location. So we go on like a sneaky walkabout in the premises of the lot, like trying not to make as much noise as possible as like filming's happening in the background. And some of those mics they pick up everything. And we're like on this giant scavenger hunt to like find the car. But meanwhile, like in the scene, she has just gotten hit by a car and is in a hospital gown with a head bandage, right? So she's walking out into the street looking like she just escaped from an insane asylum with like her like male bodyguard in a suit next to her. And it's just like such a weird situation for like the Uber driver with her Starbucks matcha to come and pick up. I think that one was especially fun. In terms of like on camera, there there was a lot that went into some of the fight scenes that I had so much fun working with Pantera, who's the stunt coordinator, and some of the other guys to making, especially working with the vertical composition. There's a lot that you do differently than you would do horizontal because you're a lot tighter and more compact. And so figuring out how to make that scene feel so alive in such a compressed space visually that isn't so busy that it's jarring, but isn't slow. That one was super fun. and I got to feel like James Bond in like a blue suit, knocking some guys out. Use some of my jujitsu background. It was a great time.
Okay, that's fair. Now, I've heard that I've spoken to a stunt coordinator. Haven't gotten to an interview yet, but then again, I'm like you rescheduling. I was like, okay, cool. Like you're doing this for free. Yeah, I can't complain if you have something that comes up. Like, oh, okay. Let me know.
I'm sorry about that, by the way. I really value your time, and I want to make sure I show up and show up well.
Oh no, you're fine.
But I think with the two scenes, like I think the matcha one takes the cake, just because it was so ridiculous. And Aaron is just absolutely hysterical on set, so it was a really fun time.
I can't imagine that. I want to know what the Uber driver's face looked like.
Dude, I want to like call them and be like, hey, so like what did you think went down? Like, have you been in this situation before at this set location? Like, because I know a lot of hospital scenes are filmed there, and like that set specifically is used a lot. And so I'm like, I wonder how often this has happened to somebody.
I used to deliver DoorDash, so like,
Okay.
I'm just imagining somebody walking out in a hospital. I can't.
Like, hey girl, are you good?
Are you supposed to be somewhere right now?
Like, I'm concerned. Like, are you good with him? Do you need assistance?
Is there? So obviously, I was naming some of the actors and actresses earlier, and you were like, "Nope, no
Nope,
idea."
over my head. Yeah.
How many do you like know besides Pat and Aaron? The ones that you've already started with.
Yeah, besides the one that I know, there's a couple that I'm friends with out through outside circumstances. Joshua Smith has been on a number, and I was his line reader when he booked his first one. Another guy of mine, JJ, was able to meet up with him. He's a really cool guy. Yeah, besides those two, the amount that I've come across with on set has been few and far between. Um, and I feel like once you start working on vertical sets, like feels like with a lot of people, they just keep on going. Like I think Aaron has worked 5 projects since we shot together in July, and because there's such high turnover in terms of from project to project to project, you get mixed with a lot of different people, so I feel like that community gets really tight really quickly. But only on my second one, I haven't met that many yet.
That's okay. You have different standards. You want to bring different things.
Totally. Yes, I'm a different flavor on the canvas, different color on the canvas.
I think I'm like 75% way through your lead one.
Really?
Because then everything else started to happen. And I got the reminder on my phone that I leave tomorrow morning, and I was like, I'm not packed. Wait.
You said that you were partway through or 75% through my vertical?
Yes. I'm like 75%. And then I was on my way home from Walmart, and I was like, okay, I need to finish this. And then I got distracted because ADHD sucks.
It's all good.
I have it downloaded, though.
Okay.
So I will watch it on my flight tomorrow.
Got you. Well, then I'm happy I didn't talk about any scenes that are spoilers for you before you finish enjoying it.
Oh, no, it's fine. I read reviews for a living.
No. But yeah, how have you been enjoying it so far?
I like it. It was very different. I did notice that there was not a lot like intimacy and romance, like that romance-wise for me. I was like, maybe it's just not in the script, but that's okay.
That was crazy. I had a lot of people ask me, like, was it written for you because of that? I was like, I probably got like one of the only ones that was shooting this year that was the case. And maybe there'll be more, I don't know, in terms of like what's shot in this cycle. But I think you talked about like violence against women, like that. This one has a little bit of that in there in the beginning. And I think Casey's portrayal of showing a woman handling a very difficult situation with a great deal of bravery in the midst of her fear, I think is super admirable, and I'm really proud of the job that she did in that.
I really liked it. Of course, I'm just gonna watch it from the start tomorrow because I've probably forgot 90% of what's happened.
Well, at
That's
least
why,
the
like,
vertical series is so nice because it's digestible, right? You can watch incremental episodes and kind of keep along with it. But there is something for being able to watch the entire thing through. And the way that they're written, they do hook you. Like you do want to finish the entire thing in one sitting.
that's what I do. I finish them in one sitting. Unless it is something I've already seen, like Last Work of Us, I'll throw on when I'm doing dishes because I've
Mm,
already seen it all the way through once, so I can listen to it and know what's happening.
got you.
But
Yeah,
it's
for me,
only
that's
with
like Parks and Recreation in the office. Like I do that all the time with those kind of things. Like it's fun, people ambiance.
I fall asleep to Criminal Minds.
That's great. I love it.
Like, it's probably the only horizontal thing I watch now besides my kids' TV shows.
Gotcha. Well, that one, it's helping probably prepare you for your criminology studies. So there you go.
Maybe. Because normally I would ask who you want to work with, but you don't
Mhm.
really know.
Yeah, like the people that I want to work with, there's some heroes that I have that I'd be really excited to. Like one, or in terms of the vertical world again, someone I'd love to work with a second time would be Haley Jordan C. Like she was absolutely phenomenal. That girl has incredible craft, and she was so much fun on the set. Like that girl. Okay, so she like scuba dives. She was like a professional. I think wasn't BMX biker, but has also done off road biking, and like has done a snowboarding, like every single manner of like water and snow sports. She has done it. Is so like an incredible person to be with. She's an absolute light, and then has also done like 5,000 different game show competitions with incredible challenges, and does mud runs. I'm like, girl, who even are you? Like the fact that you're able to do all of this is insane. But I was like, she's super impressed me on set. Um, People I'd love to work with in the industry. If I have the opportunity to work with Tom Hardy, that would or who am I thinking of right now? Oh my gosh, this is embarrassing. Second Spider-Man out there, Andrew Garfield. Like the amount of like craft that guy has, like he is such a light, so nice, and the range that he can pull off is like absolutely incredible. Um, but yeah, talent mixed with kindness are things that I'm really inspired by.
So, with that, just you want to know some industry people, you either look at my watch list or see my interviews. You don't have to
Okay.
watch them all the way through, but I've done a lot of the bigger names. I guess not all of them, obviously, but like Eric is a big one. He's
Okay.
been doing this since 2023. He's kind of like partially the reason I got into verticals. I say
Really?
partially because my first one, I always say, is Goodbye My CEO
Mm,
slash Eric's very first vertical.
okay.
And I was watching Goodbye My CEO and I hit that paywall and I was like, I'm not paying, a monthly fee for this. I don't know what I'm
Right.
gonna like, nah. And then I had watched one of his. I had watched his and I was like, came kind of into it. And then I hit that paywall and I was like,
They gotcha.
like, all right. And so I'd hit pay. And I had been following Eric since, I don't even know, before he got into verticals, because he does his poetry as well.
Oh, does he? That's
Yeah, so
phenomenal.
he has poetry jewelry, which I have on. he has, he purchased, published his first poetry book.
Wow.
So I have followed him since, I don't even know, I think 2021, 2022.
Okay.
Sam Meyerson is another big one. I had him
Okay.
on the watch list. I've followed him since 2018 when he was on Bold and the Beautiful.
Okay.
And he was on one episode of Bold and the Beautiful. Um, but yeah, my watch list will give you some pretty big names. I do it every weekend,
Great.
except a couple. I didn't do it for VertFest.
Mm.
And then I'm not doing it this next weekend because I'll be in LA and I'll be at VertCon and trying to correspond posts and meet all of these other people.
Yeah, it's a lot of
It's not.
work. when I was like I'm the youngest of four, and my two older siblings were half siblings, but we're so close we don't make that distinction. And before my dad entered the picture, my mom was a single mom, and she had an abusive relationship, and that God completely rescued her from. And I am like so beyond grateful for my older siblings. Like they're the reason why I'm the guy I am today. Um, but hearing about what she went through fending for herself for a while, I gave me the utmost respect for people in that position. So, Angel, so much respect for you, and thank you for doing an incredibly hard, difficult job of loving your daughter so well by yourself.
Trying. You're gonna get me emotional. Don't do this.
Okay, if you don't want it, I'll
No,
pull
you're
up.
fine. You're fine. Just if I start crying, just know that until I'm done crying, all that's getting cut out of the interview.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
would you ever travel like to different countries? Because they film in, what is it, Toronto? They film in Lithuania, Turkey, Vietnam, Australia, the UK, China, the
Wow.
Philippines,
That's a lot. Now I didn't know it was that diversified. Like
Italy.
it'd be so much fun. Oh, my wife and I, our honeymoon was in Italy. That'd be so much fun to go. Like I think one of the things I look forward to most is that in this industry you get to travel. And like my wife is the ultimate travel buddy. And so it'd be so much fun to like, hey, do you want to come with me on a work trip? Like we're gonna go to Verona or go to like Lithuania would be a lot of fun. I have like some Lithuanian ancestry, and it'd be really fun to connect with some of my roots there. That'd be really, really fun. Uh, but yeah, no, totally love traveling, and we're excited to do more of it, especially in the time before we have kids, so that we can go to places and then bring our kids to places we've already been, and show them how we've seen the world. So it'd be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, places I've already been to so far. I've been to London, almost all the way up and down Ireland. I've been to Kinsale, Cork, Dublin, Belfast, even like further Northern Ireland, like where the cliffs of Moher are. And then I've been to London, and then there's this one area of England. It's called Les Gridham, which kind of feels like Pride and Prejudice country. It's like fantastic. It's at this old manor house. It's like a Christian youth hostel thing called L'Abri that my sister and I stayed at. And you get to like walk on the foot trails like you're Jane Austen, or in my case, Mr. Darcy, going through and like seeing like these crazy epic trees. And then I've been to Switzerland, close to Geneva, but further up into the mountains, and that was a absolutely breathtaking experience.
What have you enjoyed most about working on verticals?
I think the verticals and being on set in general, I think I'm my happiest when I'm on set. Like I have done so much work and so much preparation prior to showing up, and especially if I'm doing a character that challenges me in any way, I have to be so present and so connected emotionally, like physically and mentally, that there isn't much that feels as satisfying and gratifying, especially like sharing that experience with other people in like a beautiful ensemble and making something we're all proud of. Like you're on set usually for a vertical for like 7 days for the shoot, and usually you're on each day for like 10 to 12 hours. And so the amount of like quick friendships that you develop in that time is really fun. I was really surprised doing my first vertical, like feeling like some people describe it as like the post-show blues, where like you do the equivalent almost like graduating high school together. Like you finish this project, you've been so close for so long, a relatively short amount of time, but you feel like you've spent a lot of time together. And then sometimes you'll work with people again on other projects, and especially in verticals, there is a very tight knit pool, so you get to look forward to seeing someone again that you really liked. But for the most part, like that feeling of being on set with that group of people, probably won't get that specific mixture again. Uh, I think that has been a lot of fun to celebrate each project for what it is well, and then to release it well into DramaBox, into TrueReel, into whatever production it's going into, and really look back on it fondly. That's been really, really fun.
Okay. Oh, out of the two that you have done, which one challenged you the most?
That's a great question. I would say Bruce Whitmore in Falling for You Again. Being a first time, I think, is a unique challenge just because you're so unfamiliar with the medium of verticals and like how they're shot. So I think that was a unique challenge. Um, but Bruce required was a lot more memorization, but I think a lot more it was playing this line of being emotionally unavailable at moments because like Bruce is a character who is a true romantic in the biggest sense of the word. Like he loves so much and so passionately. And until he believes that the love of his life has left him for another man. And at that point, he shuts off his heart and like enters into this stoic like case of being from this hurt. And upon seeing her again, he realizes that the hurt that he has in his heart that he thought he like completely killed and like the emotion that he had for her, he thought that was long gone. He realized it was just buried. And all of seeing her again, it comes up again. And the hurt, the betrayal, the anger, all of those feelings come up, but also his deep love and care for her also manifest and can overwhelm all of the hurt that he feels in moments where he sees her in times of difficulty or injustice. And he playing that balance of I feel so hurt by you, but I love you so much. And you know what? I'm going to choose my love for you and forgive past the the hurt that I'm right to feel and entitled to feel like I have been wrong. And yet I will let that go out of my love for you. Like, woof, like that's there's a lot there. And playing that the nuance of that and being true to that, especially within tight constraints, um, that was difficult to be in. And like it's not difficult, I'd say stretching to be in. I really appreciate that experience.
Okay. What advice would you give someone who's looking to get into like acting or or into just the space in general? Acting,
That's a great
producing.
question. Yeah, I think it's yeah. So are you saying specifically in the industry or just to enjoy acting on the side?
Specifically in the industry.
Okay, that's a great question. I've thought about this one a lot. Um, one, are you going to be in a position where you'll have a good time in the beginning, not making much money, but you're so excited to do what your calling is that you'll be in a state of contentment and joy as you go along the journey. Right? A lot of people that I know and a lot of mentors of mine have said this is a 5 to 10 year industry until you actually like make it. And eventually, like if you persist, like you're going to do well. Most the attrition rate for actors and people who are artists in this industry is very high. Like it's not that easy to be an actor, but it is simple. Like you adjust a little bit to the flow of the tides, but you make things on your own. You enter into a community of filmmakers, actors, writers that love what they do, so you can be supported by. Like Angel, you talking about your vertical community in terms of people that you all review things together. Being supported in that space is so vital for endurance. Because in the midst of like, hey, I'm running up into this challenge. How would you recommend that I reconcile this, or what would you recommend that I do? Or like, hey, like I'm feeling like I'm excited to make things. Like, would you guys be down to do a theater night or do X, Y, or Z? Or what are references from really good acting teachers that you guys have been really blessed by? Like, I'm like, would love to know about that. Like, I think that's why acting school is so helpful, or film school, is because you're put into a community of people that are investing heavily into their art and are knowledgeable, passionate, and excited about what they're making. And so getting in community, serving that community, and volunteering your reps in your time in order to support what someone else is doing. Because if you support them, they'll want to support you. And then, yeah, knowing that it will not be quick, or it might not be quick. You have like some stars that blow up out of nowhere and like fantastic, like amazing for them. But like we get to play dress up and be giant children. And if you are able to be fulfilled outside of fame and outside of making a specific award, like if you're in it for an Oscar, you might be waiting a really long time. And like that's just the reality. Like even the percentages, like the Oscars themselves can be so political. Like that word means so much, but like there's a reason why I think the director for Anora, like he spent 5 million on the film, and then it was 15 million on doing the Oscar tour for it. Like so, there's so much that goes into the politics of actually winning awards, becoming famous, and quote unquote making it. That I think you have to define for yourself what is making it to you. Is it being able to be on a set, act, challenge yourself in a character, and really grow in, and also like allowing yourself to grow even as a person by stepping into things that are beyond you? Like I think these are all questions that you need to answer before you step into this space, so that as you're in it, you're like, oh, okay, this is happening. It's not taking me by surprise, and I get to roll with the tides and the waves of this industry well, versus feeling like, oh, do I have what it takes? Like, I don't know, man. Like this director isn't seeing it, this casting director is not seeing it. Like, but my friends say I'm great, people that I really respect, like they're telling me that I should keep on going for it, but I don't know, I'm feeling so fatigued. Like being able to have a place of peace no matter what the world is doing, I think is essential, especially for your mental health. So yeah, community and not finding a personal fulfillment by other people's validation are things that are really important before you're able to step in healthily.
Okay. Okay. You mentioned, so I talk about this in every interview because I'm very proud of it.
Okay.
I'm part of a group, and we're called the Vertical View Crew.
Okay.
There's 9 of us, 10 of us, and we're all reviewers. And we just launched our new Instagram page. If you would like to know their names, I would love to tell you.
Okay.
Okay. So we have, obviously there's me, right? Vertical.Film.Enthusiast.
Mm-hmm.
Don't remember how I came up with the name, but I did.
It's a good name.
You have Dahlia, who is at Vertical Films Lover.
Okay.
You have Portrait Story Diaries, who is Empress Liz.
Mm-hmm.
You have Hero, our one man of the group, which is great. He does great. He's Vertical_fan.
Mm-hmm.
We have, I believe her name is Katja, but it's she just has a K on her profile.
Okay.
I think her name is Katja.
Okay.
She's short reel critic.
Okay.
You have Megan, who is real drama. You have Skara. You have Sarah, who is escapism via verticals.
Mm.
You have this vertical slaps, who is J and K. And then you have Aline, who is I Love Verticals.
Mm.
And Aline also runs Vertalis. You don't know what Vertalis is because you're so new to the space, but I love
yes,
Vertalis.
That's correct.
Aline has created a whole Instagram world for verticals. And it's called Vertalis.
Mm.
So she has platforms instead of platforms. She has locations where like things happen. An actor can be introduced to the world, and when they're introduced, they get like their base model. You know how like there's evolutions?
Yes.
So you have like the base model of Eevee, which is what gets announced. So you got Sam, for example. The base model of Sam is Samzy. Because it's cute and a base model. And then with each character, you get an evolution. So like Cayman, his base model is K Baby. And then he's got K Alpha or K Wolf and K Bear, and it just goes up from there. She also makes music for this whole little world.
That's awesome.
She's created a boy band. She's created a girl band. She's like she makes music and she puts it out there on like it's on Spotify and it's on Apple Music. It's a great world. And
That's awesome.
I talk about it in almost every interview, and so she made me an ambassador.
That's fantastic.
But that's my crew. We all do something different. So like Aline, she does a get to know.
Mm.
Hero does what's trending and new releases. And this is on top of our reviews as well, obviously. Sarah has her 5-minute escapes, but obviously we just launched our Instagram page not 4 days ago.
Okay.
Yeah, 4 days ago.
Congratulations.
I know. We're at, like, we'll be making collabs while also doing our own reviews. Like, so we each have our own little. We each have our own page, but then we come together for something different. When I started this page, I didn't ever think I'd be here. I never think I'd be talking to the people that I watch on my phone. So
Yeah, it's really fun.
life is its way. But that is literally just Vertical View crew. Okay, a little more light-hearted question, right?
Okay.
If you were a drink, what would you be? The drink does not have to be alcoholic.
Okay, if I was a drink, what would I be?
It can be alcoholic, but it does not have to be alcoholic.
Got you. What would I be? I would say a nitro cold brew, a little bit of salted caramel foam, because I have an abundance of energy, and then also a little bit, definitely like sweet with a little kick too, and character to match.
Okay. What is a quote or saying that you like to live by?
There's one quote from C.S. Lewis that I love. He says, "The man who tries to be original is a fruitless pursuit, but a man who tries to tell the truth 9 times out of 10 will have become original without even trying." I really like that one.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel targeted. And do you have any questions for me as someone who has seen so many verticals and everything?
Yes, I do indeed, Angel. What is something that you're really looking forward to in seeing the growth of the industry? We talked a little bit about like the VFX that have been present with certain fantasy vertical in the genre. We talked a little bit about some of the violence that has been present in some later verticals that have come out, and how we're not excited about that. But what are you looking forward to most in this industry, in this community that you become such an integral part of?
Just the growth of the community. I love seeing new review pages, and I love seeing, new fandoms for, anyone. Small actor, big actor. You've been in 2 verticals and you have a fandom. I'm there for it. I love the love. Can't wait to see that expand. As far as actual verticals go, thrillers, because we're dipping our toe into it a little bit.
Yeah.
The Real Short started with I Am Bloody Mary, and then of course you have Dungeons of Ecstasy that also kind of dipped its toe in it a little bit.
Okay.
We'll see how well those do. I think they did great. And then as well as more part 2s.
Sequels.
I hate a cliffhanger that does not get a sequel.
Yeah, that's tough.
I have so many shows that I'm like, please, I need a part 2 too. I need to get back on it, but I was doing. There's another. He's kind of newer in the industry as well. He's a little more experienced than you are, but he's
more than
he's
2 verticals. What do you mean more experienced?
He was my first YouTube interview. His name is Steven Morana. He's a really awesome dude. He has a show called Mafia Temptation. It was his very first one. It's on Candy Jar. And Candy Jar, all of their films films are off of books that are on the Galaxy app.
Got you. My wife worked on Yes, Mr. Knight 2 with one of her friends from Chapman. Kendall directed that, and I got to be on set during that process, and that was a really fun experience.
I liked Mr. Yes, or Yes, Mr. Knight too. I did.
Yeah, Mark's a great guy. He's super fun to talk to.
But the Mafia Temptation series has 3 books,
Mm.
and they've only made the first one. So I'm like, I need 2 and 3 because
Yeah.
I'm content with the way that it ended, but I'm not content with the way that it ended.
Gotcha.
Like, there's
It's
so
like,
much more to the story.
the guys, I'm ready for this to be finished. Like, come on, there's more.
There's 2 other books. What are you
Yeah,
doing?
like, what are we doing here? Besides making me upset.
But Jackson Tiller's Falling for a Superstar 2 just came out.
Okay.
Pretty much as soon as Vertical drops, I like to watch it. I don't.
Gotcha.
I can watch anywhere between 6 to 7 Verticals a day.
Wow. Yeah, it's considering like a vertical is like usually like I think 90 minutes total, because like I think the rule of thumb is like it's a page is like a minute usually in the shoot time. I think most verticals are around like 90 pages. Then that's hour and no, more than an hour and a half. No, hour and a half for like times 5. Girl, you're committed.
What other questions do you have for me?
So you answered in terms of like wanting to see thriller genre verticals. Yeah, where are you excited to see the industry mature? Like you've talked about seeing thrillers, you've talked about like seeing uh like sequels to different stories. Um, we've talked a little bit about VFX. I was really interested to hear like some of the actors kind of like making their own content. That's been really interesting to me that they're uh empowering themselves to go out and kind of like add more to the culture and add more to the stories that are being told. Um, I guess, are there other stories that, what's a better way of saying this? What are you excited to see when it comes to the dynamics between actors and fans and in maturing the space, like with things like with VertCon, like what are you looking forward to seeing growth in the communities besides just more numbers?
The biggest thing is just growth and knowing that like the community, the biggest thing is making sure that we're still a pretty decent and pretty kind community, because I've very little run into like people who aren't kind. Other than that, I think just the growth is the biggest thing, and maybe the dying down of storylines or the growth of storylines.
Yeah, yeah. Gotcha. That's really good to know. Beautiful to like see how supportive the industry has been in such a short amount of time, given my debut. Um, and yeah, it's such a unique, beautiful world of people that really are doing it because they love it so much, and it hasn't been, I guess, polluted by greed, for lack of a better word. And that's been really fun and really cool. And my wife and I are very excited to help contribute and help serve that community with some of the content that we make that we think might expand the quality of production that can exist in this space. Because we know there's some really phenomenal productions. They want to be in the top tier, providing very unique stories that are genre specific but haven't been seen yet.
And that'll do great. Especially, we love new storylines. Love them. Like, even if it's in the same like realm, if it's a different storyline and it's not copy and paste. Like, I've seen this 100 times. You'll do phenomenal.
Amazing. Well, as soon as the trailers, because we're going to be doing 3 different trailers. We have one treasure hunt Western romance. We have one time travel sci-fi romance. And then we have one that's a supernatural one that we're really excited about. And so all of those are going to be releasing during Christmas break. And so I'm very excited to let you guys know when those things are popping off. And then the one that gets the most support is the one we're going to make first.
Okay. Yeah. Feel free to like send it to me.
Absolutely.
It'll get out there. I'll make sure it gets out there. I'm excited.
Cool.
They sound very interesting.
Yeah. And hey, like if you love them, amazing, but no obligation at all. It's fun to this space has been so much fun, and I'm really excited to see what comes of it.
It's grown a lot in 2 years for sure.
Yeah,
I'm about to hit my 2-year anniversary of watching Verticals.
that's amazing. Oh, I do have a follow-up question. Okay, so for people in the industry in film and TV, I would say more legacy narrative. How do you guys feel about the term microdrama, or do you prefer the term vertical? What's your stance on it?
Ooh, I like both, right?
Hmm.
I like microdrama because that's what it is. There's mini dramas but I love verticals because it brings a different sense. Like you can watch a microdrama on the TV,
Hmm.
but verticals, you're either turning your TV vertical.
Just like flipping everything.
You just turn it sideways, or you're like, yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be fine. Or you're watching it on your phone,
Mm.
and like just being able to take it anywhere. It's to me that's what verticals stand for. So like,
Mm.
yeah, I can watch a horizontal on my phone, but this is a little more distracting, and people are like, what is she doing?
Mm.
Whereas this, if you're shy about it and you're like, oh, I don't want people knowing, it literally could just look like you're scrolling Facebook.
Interesting. I never thought about that before. That's very insightful.
I have a friend who like she's a closet vertical lover.
Okay, gotcha.
And so it's like she'll go to school and she's a privacy screen. So she'll go to school and she'll just sit there and she'll watch it and like I'll get updates throughout the day. Because she'll like watch only ones that I've seen.
Okay.
Because she'll like look at my reviews and be like, oh, okay, you gave that a decent number, I'll give it a shot. So like I don't remember which one it was. I think it was Dungeons of Ecstasy.
Mm.
She was like 3 episodes in and she's like texted me. She was like, oh my god. And I was like, which one are you watching? So when I visited her, it was very interesting to see in person because me, I don't care. I don't have well, I do now, but I didn't have a privacy screen. So I was just sitting there and I was just watching them. You got like the male actor taking off his shirt and people are walking by like, what is she watching?
Like,
and I'm
like, okay. That's
like,
a little spicy.
I'm just like, yeah, this is what I'm watching. But she's over there and she's like privacy screened on the at dinner table and she's just like, I'm like, what are you doing? Live up to it.
Takes a lot of bandwidth to give other people that much attention. By worrying about what other people are thinking about you, it's a lot.
So she's a closeted vertical watcher.
Okay.
You realize that like you have a privacy screen. People can't just look like peek over and see what's on your phone. Me,
Mm-hmm.
you can peek over and see abs all day long. Like that's just what you're gonna see because I feel like it's a requirement in every vertical for at least one dude to have his shirt off.
Yeah, that's why I'm not doing any of them.
At least one.
Yes.
But I was like, nobody can see that, and she became more relaxed with it. So she's just sitting there, like she's scrolling Facebook. And I was like, I love it because people aren't gonna wonder what you're watching if you're just holding your phone up and down. If you're holding your phone sideways, people are gonna be like, what are they doing?
Yeah, very invested.
People are nosy.
Gotcha. Well, that's really interesting. Thank you for sharing about that. Yeah, because especially like with like if we're making things like my wife and I that are serving the community, want to make sure that it's like a marketed in a way and presented in a way that's like warmly received versus like micro dramas. That's not this community. What are you doing here, stinker?
I know a lot of people call them microdramas. A lot of people call them verticals. I think a majority of us, we just call them films because that's what they are.
Okay.
That's what like almost. I can't say almost every review because sometimes I'll slip up. Try and say films. That's why I do a filmography instead of a vertography, because they're films. That's all that you're acting to put something out. A short film is a film. It's in the title. A vertical is a film. It's just on a different platform and a different orientation.
Gotcha. Yeah, that totally makes sense.
But that's just the way I see it. I don't know how everybody else sees it, but
Yeah. No, but in terms of like telling a cohesive linear story, verticals are obviously a little bit more interrupted and a lot more cliffhangery to keep it going, even though because they're watched more like 2 minute intervals. But I totally hear what you're saying in terms of they're telling an overarching like 90-minute story that you're invested through the whole way.
Yeah. So it's a film, but it's not a film.
Gotcha.
Whereas
Yeah.
like I hear micro drama and I'm like, that feels like a TV show.
Okay, interesting.
Me, anyways.
Yeah, that's fascinating. Thank you so much for sharing about that. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you want people to know about like you and your acting and what you've got coming?
Yeah. Yeah, if anything, if there's any takeaways that I have from my work that people see, um, my hope is that people would see masculinity done well, even if it's through the lead characters that I play or through villains and showing what not to do. But being a part of stories that really show love done well and in its most pure form. And that's the kind of films that my wife and I are very excited to make. And for those who are hungry to see more of our specific flavor outside of that's our identity specifically in the film world in the vertical space, look out for what Rama Studios has to offer because that's our production company name. And more information will be coming. Especially look out in December.
Okay. I don't think I have any other questions. Other than like, no, I don't got any other questions.
Well, great. This has been absolutely fantastic. Angel Phyllis, thank you so much for making time for me to come on your show.
Well, thank you so much for coming on and agreeing. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night.
Oh, thank you so much. You as
I
well.
look forward to seeing more work from you.
Yes. Yeah. I'm excited to share with you the stuff that I've been working on with my wife when the time comes.
I hope you have a great night, Brandon.
You as well, Angel. Take care.